Unmasking the African truth, the African way, and retracing the steps of gallant African indigenous spiritual heroes and heroines. We speak without favor and we leave no stone unturned. AHV, 100% indigenous African content. Welcome to African Hidden Voices podcast. Apples chat about anything that is African. Anything you think of that is African, we speak about it. Fashion, economics, spirituality, yonke into nje ethi Africa sithetha ngayo apha. Namhlanje I have someone that is ndingathi a true African, like umntu othi ndingum-Africa ngokupheleleyo. Namhlanje I have a fashion designer. Nandingambiza ukuthi African fashionista Phumzile Ntuli. Phumzile Ntuli is a fashion designer. Uzasithethela yena ukuthi ungubani, wenza ntoni, and then we'll take it from there. Phumzile, welcome to African Hidden Voices podcast.
Thank you so much for welcoming me.
Tell us about you. Phumzile, udume ngani, wenzani? I'm seeing you are just looking fantastic. Tell us about you and then tell us about your outfit.
Wow, it is an honor to be part of this.
Oh, thank you
especially
so much.
If I'm going to interact or talk to young people, because you guys are close to my heart.
Oh, thank you.
I really believe, Ogoti, if future lies with you.
Yes.
And if we're not nurturing you, then I think the country will have, or the continent at large, will have serious problems. So when I talk to Muntomsha, ngibe complete.
Hope.
Give a hope and feel like I've contributed
to society.
Yeah. You know, so yeah, my name is Phumzile Ntuli, but I was born by Ungwenya, which is my father. And then my mother is Ukwabe, Ozwite, Okumed. Opagatwayo Okumed, sorry. So yeah, ubuya ngapho Zwatini, and then my dad from Swaziland.
Wow.
And yeah, I was raised by my grandmother in a small village called Intlazaje in Mpumalanga. So ugogo yena ungumSuthu, ubuya Free State, but she relocated to Mpumalanga. And yeah, she took us with her to grow up that side, yeah. Pretty much, yeah, that's me. And apart from that, as I grow, I became a fashion designer. But I didn't start there.
Where did you start? And where did the love for fashion begin?
It's an amazing story to tell, because my background is construction.
Oh.
So I was working for this construction company. And yeah, I fell in love with fashion, and when I fell in, it was like it came like boom, here it is, and what do you do with it? And I was so much in love, and yet ngapangisebenza. So what I can actually tell or remember from then, ukuthi bebethi mathi ngisebenze mina bengihlala ku Google and then just check ukuthi the latest trends.
So the company time.
Yes, the latest trends yintoni, and until ngaze ngihamba ngayofuna African print.
Wow.
Which was the material engayibona ngathi ibinhle, ngayenza blazer, and then ngaposta le blazer ku Facebook. And then after I've posted, wonke umuntu wanted that blazer.
Wow.
And I was so happy and in love with whatever that I've created. And mind you, I didn't know how to do the sewing. It was like just me design the garment and then give it to someone. And then the passion grew to such an extent that I resigned and I went back to school. At that time I was old. I was almost 40.
What?
And then I went back to school to study fashion. And I'm going there just with the love of fashion. Little did I know ukuthi umdali ubengibekelele calling. I call my work a calling because it's more like I was called to do this. So uma ngifike esikolweni, I was like excited, curious to know each and everything about us as Africans. Where do we coming from? Where are we coming from with the history of costumes and the first year I was checking my modules. I saw there was a little bit of it, but it was like not what I want, because I was expecting to see things like, what's this attire? For an example, isiZulu, isicholo.
So-
They
so-
will just label it.
So modules is like zeskolo. There was nothing that resonated with the way umnyama should be dressing.
And also, noguchi, where are we coming from with it? You know, I think what actually
There was no history to it,
messed
kahle.
messed my head, it was I expected so much when it comes to that. I expected to see each and every garment accessory to be explained. Ukuthi, okay, with this one, this is where we're coming from and why we have designed it.
Actually,
You get what I mean?
Mam Phumzile, funny you should say that with European garments, kahle, you know, they always give you a history.
Yes.
Ukuthi this comes
Yes.
from where is
My
kanjani.
point.
They give you all of this. And I'm actually very glad that I think it's the first time Nandiva, a designer, that actually brings these things up. Usually people, even black designers or African designers, they would design something and they never question where the material comes from, the textile comes from. They never would question why in design school singafundiswa get depthness of our African attire. So I'm very glad that you're bringing this up.
Yeah, young kakhulu ke mina ke because as old as I was and nginale loqozi lokufuna ukwazi ukuthi ini bengayelanga ukuyosebenzela omunye umuntu bengifuna knowledge
Yes.
and mangifika ngayitholi
Wow.
ngabe sengiba like ngiyathukuthela ukuthi kungani ingekho because like as you said with other countries the western
Yes.
countries and designers they do have you know that history to
the
say
background, yeah,
where
into
are we
abayenza,
coming from with the bell bottom your miniskirt etc but when it comes to us I don't even know who invented isicholo. I don't even know who invented you know the vendor they always wear
Yes.
these things.
We call them
No, I was-
satellite dishes.
They're my satellite, you know, because I was interested. You know, I
Yeah.
went there with that interested and hoping ukuthi ngizothola more.
More information.
You know, and then after I got so disturbed, I asked myself a question to say, but if I am disturbed ngale ndlela le, umuntu ukhombe phi?
Ukhomba wena.
Ukhomba mina ukuthi okay uyayibona wena amehlo akho
Yeah, wena
avulekile.
uzoyenzani ngayo
Then
le
wenzani
nto.
ngayo. And now from me coming there to study just fashion, everything changed.
Wow.
To be like, okay, this thing is not here. I'm not inspired. I'm not motivated by anything here. So what do I do? And then I went back home. I was in tears, I remember. And I prayed and I said, Father, are you now trusting me to bring a change here in Africa in terms of our clothing? Do you want me to restore
Wow.
our continent in
Wow.
terms of clothing? And I believe God said yes. Because what happened after that, it was amazing. I could actually have visions of what I wanted to design as a
Wow.
fabric. And I would by the way, I'm a self-taught textile designer. I studied fashion, but as a textile designer,
You
I'm
taught
self-taught.
yourself. Wow.
I had to do lots and lots of research. I had to check, like, you know, what is what, you know. Yeah, eventually I came up with this piece because I started by sketching. And then with those sketches, and then there's inspiration. So I a story.
There's always a story behind
There's
it.
a story behind
Wow.
because also with my background, I was able to understand Uguti, the world wants a story and the story sells more than anything else.
Actually,
you know?
yes, that's what we were talking about, I think, before
Yeah.
we record, how, you know, people ngaphandle, they want to know, they buy the story. They buy the story. They want some sort of emotional attachment to what you are selling them. Like, why did you do this? What is the meaning behind it? Abantu bafuna meaning in life, and I think in fashion today, some people just design. There is no meaning to it. Abantu ba design and because they want to make money.
And let me tell you, as a creative name, I know that they do have those stories, but no one is motivating them. Each and
tell.
every artist, they get to be inspired by something and be physical in coming up with whatever.
Yes.
Bayenze. You understand? So that inspiration, that's the story that I'm talking about. So istory yilokho kukwenza ukuthi uthathe iphepha nepensela ukubhala. So Africans, they don't understand that part ukuthi iyona le kumele bayi-attach, iyona kumele bayiveze, baveza i-beauty of whatever that they've created instead of starting with the story and then beauty of whatever that we have created.
Like okay, thetha nawe ngoku. I'm just looking at the ensemble yakho ngoku lo inxibileyo, and I'm thinking to myself, what is this now? What does it mean? Like inhle ndiyayibona uba inhle, and I've never seen it anywhere else before. So I want what was the inspiration behind? What's the story behind this piece that you are wearing now?
There's a lot actually because stories are corners. I mean, I'm always having stories with what I do. So this is what I do on daily basis. I come up with a design and Ngiba responsible to come up with dimensions. I do blankets. So I must come up with dimensions that will cater for all sizes, which is like all the shoulders. So I will normally do that. But umshini lo wenza ingubo ngesinye isikhathi uyaye ube mkhulu for whatever size that I want. So I will add another piece. So then when that thing, it has put me in I would say, best position ever because I am able to design an extra piece as a garment. So now I'm off cuts of whatever that I've designed. So from one piece that I've designed, I'm able to come up with maybe 4 garments.
Wow.
So this was supposed to be thrown away, like it was not supposed to be even a garment.
But you brought something
So
out of it.
I don't have waste in my business. So yeah, everything, it works. So that's the power of passion. That's the power of loving what you do. Because when we turn into, you'll always make sure ukuthi it works.
I think Mam Phumzile, ithema siqala, you spoke about ukuthi what you do is it's a gift. It's a gift and it's a calling to you. And mama uchaza ukuthi yonke into oyithungayo, yonke into oyidesignayo ine story sayo. I want us to discuss now in the current status of fashion ngoku in Africa. Africa, yes, ngabantu who they wear for special occasions. There's always glam to abantu abamnyama. They like to look good. They like to feel good, and whatever abayinxibayo always has the story, whatever the story might be. Now, kodwa into endiyibonayo ngoku, as an African people, we are slowly moving away from who we are as a people and how we dress. We are seeing that a lot of people, they don't want to dress. They abanxibeli ubuhle, they wear to be naked. I don't know if I'm making sense, they wear to be naked. Umntu akanxibi to accentuate the way umzimba wakhe. Umntu now just wants to be naked. What is going on? I think nakhona umbuzo ngathi uthi, why are designers designing izinto that don't portray the African body in its true sense, but they just want to expose it ngendlela negative?
Wow, yeah, what a question. Until we understand ukuthi dressing up, it is spiritual.
I love that. I love that.
What you wear,
Yeah.
it tells us a story about you. It explains how you think, the life that you're living, who exactly you are. So that's why I'm saying it's spiritual, because we get to understand who exactly you are
Wow, that is
through
very
your
powerful.
clothes. So now people, they don't understand that. They dress up for fun. They dress up simply because if they want to dress up. So I believe, Mina, it's our duty or our responsibility as designers to bring back that dignity that clothing possesses. Clothing possesses, I don't know, a huge role kumuntu umephila. I'll make an example and support my statement. You know, everyone when avuka ekuseni esehamba yala yakhona, first thing that they do, they dress up.
Definitely.
Do you understand what I
Yeah.
mean? And they choose the clothes.
Yes.
Ukuthi namhlanje
Ufuna
ngifuna
ukugqoka
ukubukeka
kanje, ufuna
kanje.
ukuba so, ufuna
So
ukuba so.
it's you connecting with yourself in the morning.
Wow.
And now that it's trying it, we got to know or understand who you are, because now you tell us ukuthi binisa isuku lami namhlanje linje. So we see exactly
Through the clothes that I'm wearing
even
and
the
how I
colors, it's so funny. There's people who abathandi amakhala ohlobo linje just to show ukuthi it's so spiritual ngendlela ongeke uze understand. Ngoba abanye abantu banokuthanda umbala othize, uthola ukuthi uthanda nje njengami nje nginombala engiwuthanda, kunombala engawugqoki at all. But kunembala engikhona ukuthi mangiyigqokile ngifeel ukuthi you know what, now I am okay.
I'm in a certain
it
space, man.
connects
It
with
connects
me.
you. Wow.
So answering your question, I'll say I think we need to make sure that we change how we perceive or how we teach people about fashion, and also give the right definition of what fashion is. Because when you ask people what is fashion, nomunye uzokutshela le bazokutshela ngale ndlela abakutshela ngayo. But that definition that I just gave you now, ukuthi, it defines who you are. Actually, I would say thina abantu abamnyama, we don't have fashion.
It's not a way of life here to go.
Yes, we should look good.
we should look
And
good.
we should look like Africans.
Wow.
Because that's who we are.
Wow.
This fashion thing, I'm not crushing it, but it's not for us. Tina, we need to dress up to look good. As much as the fabric was introduced to us, but we need to dress up and look good and understand who we are.
I love how you just spoke about the spiritual aspect to clothing, particularly for umtu omnyama. It's these things that eziveza kakhulu ukuthi thina bantu omnyama, how we have been separated from who we are as an African people. Like nyani ngoku abantu bayanxiba nje. There's no spiritual inclination or connection to the way we dress. It's so sad. It really, 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 really is sad. And I also like how you had said when we were discussing off camera, even if fabrics is it, we don't even know where these fabrics come from. We're not involved in these fabrics. Like we take fabrics, there is nothing that connects us to these fabrics as an African people.
Yeah, like I said, Sithando sami ukuthi, yes, siyavuma, fabrics were not ours. Sina besigqoka ikhumba. But at least let us be involved now, simply because we are the greatest consumers.
Definitely.
We consume fabrics, it's not funny. So why are we not part of the value chain?
Wow.
I believe that we should form part of that. I mean, I can't call a fabric and say this is all about my culture, yet I'm not designing it, yet I'm not wholesaling it. There's nothing that I'm doing with it, but it's my culture. So who exactly am I supporting? Where is my money going to?
That's a question.
Where?
That's a question.
Okay, imali yami iyaphi? Okay, who's designing?
Wow.
Do you get what I mean?
I understand what you're saying.
So basically, let us also be part. Not to say that I'm saying whoever came with the fabric and they introduced to us, because the history says that we didn't know fabrics. But Bandla, we are the greatest consumers.
We at least need to be part of the fabric making.
And that is why I'm sitting here saying, can I be part of this? And I'm glad I'm part of it.
Wow.
And like I said also earlier, ukuthi ngajabula uma ngabe ngabona ulutsha lu participate in the space. Bebona nabo ukuthi what? I'm part of this value chain. Manufacturing is the key. We can't be consumers forever.
Need to manufacture also.
We need to be involved in manufacturing. I question each and everything when I intake or I consume, to say, okay, where is this coming from? Who designs this? Who created this? Is this form part of the value chain which is involving us as abantu
Actually, speaking
abansundu.
about value chain, that's something very profound, and I think the event you attended is Kumuzo Ska Gogo, founder yayo Dr. S.B. Khatebe Foundation. Naye ubuzo lo mibuzo leyo ukuthi sitya izinto, we wear things but we don't know where they come from, so it is important as abantu abamnyama sizenzele ezethu izinto, like the water we are drinking now, agrico water. Uzenzele wona lamanzi imboni, saying we need to know the clothes that, I mean, the design that I'm wearing now is from Ubuntu Clothing. Uzenzele ngokwakho ukuthi now we need to know ukuthi imali yethu iyaphi as a black people.
So kumele sicalele phansi futhi ke
And we
sithandwa
need to,
le
I think we need to,
endwangini sibone ukuthi nathi sipatanisa kanjani.
and we need to unite as an African people. Thank you so much, Sis Phumzile. I think knowing that there are designers out there abacabangela umuntu omnyama and want to see the black person being involved in even fashion, it's very important. And now we are here to support you. We are supporting, funa push. Umuntu mayethi okay, Sis Phumzile ukhulumile manje, where do I get your design? Ngithola kuphi? Where do I go now? Where do I go for you? Sikuthola kuphi? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Ukuphi?
We are on, I'm not a social media person, but yeah, I have Facebook only. So, but yeah, the business does have all the platforms. We have the Instagram, which is Zara Clothing SA.
Zara Clothing
We have
SA.
Zara Clothing on Facebook. We have, I think now they have also TikTok. You'll forgive me. I am honestly like, you can't, keep up with the social media. It moves very, very fast. But we are on social media, full on. Like, yeah, we have everything there on social media.
Thank you so much, Phumzile. And thank you to our viewers at home. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, and to leave a comment. And Jeme Sozvele, ukuthi Phumzile ukhona ku Facebook. You want a nice outfit? Yeah. Umbhalele naye. Please do join us again kule veki ezayo when we talk everything African. Siyabonga.